Hey, back with another whip cracking tutorial. Today I want to cover the Cattleman's Crack. The Cattleman's Crack is an awesome crack. It's a great crack to learn when you're first starting out, and it's a lot of fun once you get it down. So I've got my trusty 8-foot paracord whip from the id of Alex's Whip Shop. Great whip maker, cannot recommend him enough. Okay? So let's start out by talking about where I'm going to hold this whip. So the handle, I want to hold closer to the heel knot, not necessarily in the middle of the handle and not up by the transition knot. You will find that's pretty much ubiquitous through all cracks as to where I hold the whip. Okay? The Cattleman's Crack is a crack that's going to change direction to get the crack. Okay? So as I step back a bit, it's typically best if we start with the whip behind us, and I bring the whip up and around to make a circle. Okay? Now, you want to get the whip fully extended and moving around so that it falls extended behind you. Okay? So there's a little bit of a force in the throw of that circle there. Okay? Doesn't have to be a lot of force, but just enough. Okay? So right as the whip is about to fall and this starts to curve, I'm going to change direction of the whip, and I'm going to take my hand from here to down here. Okay? So the whole crack is just that easy. I'm moving my hand from here to there. Okay? Now, keep in mind, this is not a crack that I need to yank anything back or I need to throw it out, yank it back. That's just going to result in you hitting yourself, and that's not a good idea with one of these. And if you've seen the beginning of Last Crusade, that's actually depicted fairly well there with young Indiana Jones in the train car with the lion. Okay? That's how they explain the scar on Ford's chin. So don't yank anything back. Everything's going forward, and I'm pointing where I want the whip to crack. Okay? So start with the whip behind you. Throw it out in a great big circle. Let it just about to fall, and you want this bend start to happen, and then everything changes direction here. Okay? So this can be useful just to make circles and listen for the whip to hit behind you. So you kind of get that feeling of when it's there. Okay? You want to feel when the whip changes, the weight of the whip changes behind you. Okay? So if you go too early, you're not going to get a crack. Okay? And you're going to hit yourself, okay? More than likely. Okay? So you got to wait and then get your crack. Okay? So if I look at the camera straight on, I bring the whip from behind me, big circle here. Okay? And I wait for that weight transition, and then I get the crack. So up, around, through. Okay? Up, around, through. Okay? Now, of course, the more and more comfortable you get with the crack, please start out slow, working it slow. The more forceful you get the motion going, the big circle going, the change of direction makes a louder crack with more force on the front end of this. So if I really whip it here, I make a larger noise. Okay? But that's not necessarily always the goal. As long as we can get the motion and the feeling down, that's important. Okay? I'm not putting a lot of force behind this. So the Cattleman's Crack is a lot of fun. It's a great crack to start out with. It doesn't require a lot of effort, and it certainly doesn't require a lot of force. So enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Appreciate you guys.